Hi there. In this video, I'll walk you through how to troubleshoot. While it's rare, there are some instances where you may need to troubleshoot your Cloudlet. Some of these are hard to replicate, while others are easier to replicate, but I'll be using screenshots today to show you how the different errors would look. I do also want to mention that this video is mostly meant for those of you that prefer doing things yourself and checking if the error is actually with our system or something else. Of course, we'll help you figure it out if you get an error. However, if it's, for example, a reCAPTCHA error, it'll be faster if you find the error and fix it yourself, as fixing this type of error usually takes only a couple of seconds. First things first, something went wrong, and your chatbot or your AI search isn't responding. Log into your Cloudlet. While you can see the last couple of system logs from your dashboard if you scroll down, you might want to view the entire log when troubleshooting. You can either click on See All, or go to the top menu and click on MISC, then Log. Your log should probably normally look a lot like this, but you'll have a lot of log items saying that invoking OpenAI was a success if you've launched or tested your chatbot, as we haven't done that for this particular Cloudlet. If you click Details on a task, you can see more details about what happened. Some of the most common successful log items are things like User Successfully Authenticated, which means someone logged into the Cloudlet. Task to clean up, old log items executed successfully, which means older log items were deleted. As not to fill up the Cloudlet storage with log items, task to clean up, old machine learning requests executed successfully, which is when history is deleted after 14 days. Again, so that the Cloudlet storage won't be filled with this information. Now, let's get to the troubleshooting part. Some of the text in the screenshots may be hard to read, but I'll be reading the important parts. In this example, the error says there was an error while invoking reCAPTCHA. Error code was timeout or duplicate. When clicking details on this error, there may be a sentence at the very bottom of the exception part, but usually it's a bunch of code and may be hard to understand depending on how technical you are and if you're familiar with our system. Either way, this means something's wrong with reCAPTCHA. Go to your Cloudlet's configuration and check that you remembered to save your reCAPTCHA keys. Does everything look correct here? You may have forgotten to log into your reCAPTCHA admin panel and add your domain to the list. Check our video on how to configure your Cloudlet if you need help with double-checking that everything is configured correctly. In this censored example, the error says bogus sitemap reference. When clicking details, under Meta you can actually see which specific URLs this refers to. What this means is that there was something wrong with the sitemap, and either the domain or the specific URL wasn't crawled. The error should tell you which one is the case. If it's a single page, you could try to use Spice on this particular page instead, or adding the info manually. If it's multiple pages or the entire domain, you either need to fix your sitemap, which should be a priority either way, or you can add your training data another way, for example, manually or using files. As we've continually improved our crawler since we started out, this is very rare. But if it happens to you and it's many pages and/or the entire domain, you can also send us an email so that we can check if it's something we're able to fix locally for you. Make sure to include which domain and the URL to at least one of the pages that failed to crawl. In this example, the error says access denied. This simply means that someone tried to log into the Cloudlet and used the incorrect password or username. In this example, the error says the request was canceled due to the configured HTTP client, timeout of 100 seconds elapsing. When clicking details on this error, there's mostly code and you may not be able to understand this error yourself. If the top message is hyperlambda exception, it might be a bug, so send us an email and we'll help you out. If it doesn't say hyperlambda exception at the top, it means that this is an OpenAI server error. These are incredibly rare these days, but may happen occasionally. As long as you haven't forgotten to pay a bill from them or something like that, the only thing to do in this case is to wait it out. In this example, the error says, could not create embeddings for model. And the one right before that says that something went wrong while invoking OpenAI. When clicking on details, this one does say, hyperlambda exception. However, the log item right before it is the OpenAI one, and this error is an issue with OpenAI's servers. While errors generally are rare, These are some of the most common ones. There are other errors you could potentially run into, and if you do, check for a sentence explaining what happened either at the start or end of the details. If there is no explanation, look for hyperlambda exception. Lastly, check the last few log items right before and after, and see if they offer more information. If you cannot figure it out yourself, send us an email and please include some screenshots and we'll help you out, of course. That's it. Thanks for watching.